Have you seen the land living by the bridge?
Hi everyone, and we are back in Lincoln where we left our boat for the winter. We were here a couple of weeks ago and we had to move it because of some very antisocial neighbours that we had on the visitors' mooring. So they were playing their music so loud that it was just booming around the whole area. So we had to move our boat up into a mooring space that was empty at that time, but it did belong to someone else who has now come back, so we've got to move our boat again to another space. I think CRT are trying to do something about the cluster of boats that are a problem. They've been there for a long time, but we'll see. And more to that, last weekend we were away in Paris, and during that time Storm Claudia blew through. The water levels came up and our boat went up with it, which was fine, but when the water levels went down, our boat got hooked up on the ledge and was tipped right over. And we were sent a photo by the brilliant girls who live next door to us on the boat. Anyway, they managed to muster the troops and they all wiggled our boat off the ledge. So we've come up to make sure that that doesn't happen again. We need to put tyres in place and to warm the boat up. It's going to be very cold when we get on it. It's really freezing today. The batteries would have stopped charging, but hopefully they will have a full charge in them. So we're just going to see what's happening. Right, we just go in and see what the temperature is and if stuff has all rolled onto the floor.
5 degrees in here.
5 degrees? Okay. Well, it's not freezing then. Actually, everything looks like it's where it should be, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to get the central heating going, put a hot water bottle in with the batteries and go off and do some shopping. Well, it's next morning and we successfully moved the boat last night, and we found some old tyres sitting outside which should help with our problem of getting hooked up on the ledge. We think that it actually wasn't the side of the boat. We have 2 foot plates sticking out the back, and the lovely girls on the boat next to us said it was the back that was getting hooked up. So what we need to do is keep that out from the bank so that when the water rises again, which it will when it rains heavily, we won't get caught up again. So just go and see how Henry's coping with that. So nice big fat tyre, that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So our foot plate is just down there.
Yeah.
It does sometimes get caught up in locks and things because our boat is particularly wide at the back, and it has been caught up on ladders and lock walls before, so we're always aware that we have that bit sticking out. So Henry's going to hang, I think what you're going to do, hang the tyre off there.
Yeah. Yeah. And the boat can't ever get any closer than that.
They have these poles here which stop the boat being floated up onto the towpath when it floods. And there has been some issues. Last week, one boat sank completely and some other boats did get pulled up onto the towpath, not on this particular stretch, but nearby. So you just have to be careful anywhere where you've got rising water, because this is basically a river. It comes in from the River Trent. Yeah, the water is always constantly moving here. Quite high at the moment, but sometimes it gets right up here as high as the towpath.
It wouldn't be a problem if this metal ledge wasn't here, but it is there, so we have to deal with it. The idea is that the boat would kind of slide up there, which it would do normally, but we've got this, like Fran just said, that sticky out bit, so we've got to deal with that. And I think that this tyre hanging from here should stop that.
Good, good. Right, well, Henry does that. I'm going to nip into Lincoln to get some ingredients. We've invited the two girls for dinner tonight. It's always nice to meet other boaters and get to know them a bit. And I'll show you a few bits of Lincoln when I go in. Lincoln is one of those funny places that not many people go to. It's on the east of the country, and that tends to get forgotten a little bit, I think. So certainly, apart from the fact that I brought a big group of friends here a few years ago for a friend's birthday party, I decided to come here because I knew none of them would have been to Lincoln, and yet it's a really pretty place. So I'll show you a little bit as we go along. So this is the bottom end of the town where all the big shops are, and then up there is Steep Hill, which goes up to the cathedral. It's a really tough walk up there on cobblestones. And then this is where the canal runs through, and away down to Boston that way. That beautiful sculpture over the water. There's always a bit of a steampunk vibe going on in Lincoln too. They gather and wander around. And there's lots of little twittons going down as well. These steps are hellish slippery. Be really careful. And this is the famous Lincoln Glory Hole with a nice tea shop above called Stokes. Slightly haphazard customer service, but nice scones. And the next bridge asks, where are you going? And on the other side asks, where have you been? This is one of those towns that embraces the canal, celebrates it. They don't all do that, but this one puts it right at the heart of its city. This is Brayford Pool, with a lot of resident boats over there. Very useful for winding in this because it's massive. And along the waterfront is all the big companies, Costa and Zizzy and all that sort of thing. All over there are university buildings. They go on for miles. Very big university, very big campus, which keeps the town lively. And a railway line that runs right through it. And it goes straight to Sheffield, where tomorrow we are meeting our friend Les for a roast dinner, and he's coming from Manchester, so we're coming from either end of the country and meeting in the middle. And we're hoping our friend Jerome will be jumping on the train and coming up from Stoke. That's the beauty of being right in the middle of England. Wow, massive amounts of rain last night and more forecast today. I'm not complaining because reservoirs are still not full. But we're off to Sheffield with my trusty umbrella and go meet Les. Interestingly, last night one of the girls was telling us that all of these university buildings, which are now boarded up, They're about 25 years old, but they're completely unused now. It's such a waste. So I think, like a lot of the other universities in this country, they are really suffering at the moment. And this particular campus here, they had to share bathrooms, which students don't seem to want to do these days. So times have changed. So they're not used, they're full of furniture, all boarded up, and I think they're hoping to sell the land. It's such a shame. Apparently the land that this was all built on was old industrial land, so it wasn't great land anyway. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with all of this. And as we go towards Sheffield on the train, it's like we're going backwards through our summer as the train track follows the Chesterfield Canal right the way through. So we're going back through Shire Oaks and Retford and Kiverton Park and all the memories of being there with David over the summer. It's quite nice. Feels familiar.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And we find ourselves in the pinkest Indian restaurant having a roast dinner. A very interesting concept, but very nice. Monday morning and we're just leaving the boat. We're trying to get a photo of a kingfisher which is sitting on a boat right next to us. It's never very successful getting a photo, but it's lovely watching him. He's just sitting there waiting to dive into the canal, get his breakfast. Cold this morning, but it's going to warm up during the week. Boat's all settled and should be fine now. And that's it for this video, so I'll see you on the next one, whenever that is. Have a good week. Bye for now.
Have you never heard